When we're taking the message of this university out to the public and the world, often we're asked, what are you famous for? What are your strengths?
Well, as Canada's Green University, we really want to try to develop new and innovative technologies.
We're looking at ways of distributing our heating, our cooling, and everything to our buildings more efficiently.
We started with a pellet project, and so we have an enhanced forestry lab, and we are heating that fully with the pellets.
The pellet project for us was a great template on how to move forward. From that project, we saw research, we saw teaching, we saw community linkages. That transitioned into the power plant that we're in. The core function of this building is to heat the campus below it. We have $1 billion worth of buildings down there, research labs, teaching labs, office buildings.
Bioenergy is heat, electricity, any kind of energy produced from biomass. Biomass is hog fuel, sawdust, bark, planer shavings, any waste material that we wouldn't use. In the past it was burned and just vented atmosphere. A lot of heat is wasted in the atmosphere and it was really generating no value.
This project is a template for small communities.
Some of these are still based on diesel gas. They need to go to a renewable resource. Bioenergy is one potential.
Communities across northern BC are looking for the next generation of economic and community development activity. They need access to energy, they need access to electricity, and they need access to heat in order to build the next economy in their community.
In a lot of ways, this campus functions as a community of about 5,000 people. The plant that we have here is providing the heat, but not the electricity for this community. What we're looking at is another addition to this plant that would generate electricity.
So the plan now is to augment the system by bringing in electrical generation so that we'll be able to power ourselves with our own electricity as well as generate our own heat for maintaining the buildings.
And then, as we would still have additional heat available, we're looking at putting in a greenhouse, which would be heated from these systems, and that greenhouse would grow food for local consumption.
Having a greenhouse on campus would be moving forward in a very progressive way. There's no downside to eating local. You get a better tasting product, less chemicals, it's healthier for you, and it's actually quite affordable.
One of the great things about UNBC is we tend to move our research to answer immediate problems that are important to the local communities. And myself and other people in my program and throughout the university have done that. We've shifted our research programs to try to meet some of those needs.
A lot of our communities are off of the electrical grid and they're off of natural gas pipelines. So they have to bring in expensive substitutes for this.
The primary advantage of the system would be replication in a remote community that relies on diesel fuel for its electricity and that has an abundance of waste fiber in the local area.
We are using a fiber source that is renewable. We can grow it again and again and again as long as we look after the environment that supports that growth.
Our community is it's a beautiful community beside Stewart Lake.
We're at the end of the grid pretty well, especially in the winter when the power goes out. We're scrambling.
All First Nations to the north, south, east, and west of us all have strains on the budget regarding hydro. We have to really look into bioenergy to offset some of the pressures.
We've been growing apart as youth and elders over the years because of technology. In this case, hopefully technology through bioenergy will bring that gap closer together because it's going to create jobs, it's going to create opportunities for us to live off the land through greenhouses. And as the nation is going to be the role model of the North for green energy, and that's going to be our legacy to our community members.
For the 37 communities we identified as potential users of the technology, it's definitely going to help them. A lot of them are isolated. We want to help them, and by doing this joint venture with UNBC, I think we'll improve the lives for everyone and to also bring extra revenue and jobs that come with it.
Generating electricity here is a very big step, But we're very excited about what it demonstrates. The opportunity to demonstrate food sustainability for this region. Also looking at the economic opportunities around local food production and around local electricity production, and bringing that energy production role home to the local community.
You can manage a good pilot project, but the difficulty comes when you have to scale up, particularly to an industrial size unit. The advantage here is that our pilot project is the size of the operational unit that you would roll out. So we'll be testing, in a way, live time, live experience size units, and that will make the translation into practice much more feasible and much more immediate.
The hope is to train young people, and the hope is to develop clean technologies. And here, when we can engage everything from the operations of the university, to the courses that we teach, to the research that we do, in the community in which we live, UNBC is blessed to be in this situation.